Go ahead.
Well, I'll skip some of the stuff. There's 2 pages in here, so I know I won't take that much liberty. But William Simon was a Secretary of the Treasury, and he wrote this, or he spoke this. These are his words in front of Congress in 1976. All right? And if you'll remember, it wasn't long after that we saw some 24% interest rates. I worked with some farm folks who were struggling under that. A lot of them interest only. In the case of the federal government, we can print money to pay for our folly for a time. There's the beginning of the complicity you were talking about, Christine. But we will just continue to debase our currency, and then we will have financial collapse. This is the road we are on today. 1976, William Simon. This is the direction in which the humanitarians are leading us. But there is nothing humanitarian about the collapse of the great industrial civilization. There is nothing humanitarian about the panic, the chaos, the riots, the starvation, the death that will ensue. There is nothing humanitarian about the dictatorship that must inevitably take over as terrified people cry out for leadership. There is nothing humanitarian about the loss of freedom. That is why we must be concerned about the cancerous growth of government and its steady devouring of our citizens' productive energy. Productive energy equates to your real wealth, your ability to actually save real wealth. That is why we must be concerned about deficits and balancing the budget. The issue is not bookkeeping. It is not accounting. The issue is the liberty of the American people. Forgive me, Mr. Chairman. Remember, he's addressing Congress. I have not been addressing your specific questions. I just wanted to put the real issue in focus. I can speak to the technicalities, and I will do so, but they obscure the real issue that faces us in our country today. The problems of deficits, budget balancing, and capital markets all of these are important. I'll just wrap up real quickly. No counterforce in America today is being mobilized to fight this danger. The battle is being lost, and not a shot is being fired. That, Mr. Chairman, is why, for me, the last few years in office has been like a bad dream. I am leaving Washington next January, and I'm going to go home to New Jersey, a very frightened man. Treasury Secretary William Simon. Now, bear in mind, by 1980, the Congress had a bill in front of them called the Monetary Destabilization, or the Monetary Regulation, the Monetary Control and Deregulation Act. All it does was actually, and has been in place now since 1982, was to destabilize the entire process, enabling them to write, for the first time in history, variable rate interest, which is now, we know, brought about the housing collapse and the mortgage fiasco that's taking place in people living in tents and paying 48% interest on second mortgages. This is William Simon, Secretary of the Treasury. If you want to read about it yourself, it's a great read. I hope all of you will go out and buy all of Mayberry's books, every single one of them.
I've read one.
Beginning with The Money Mystery, and if you want to know the rest of the understanding of economics, Whatever Happened to Penny Candy.
And this one was very good.
Yes. Whenever you read these 2 books, you'll come away with a real understanding of what money is and what's been going on in our country for over 100 years with our third central bank, and how it is doomed to fail.
You should wait till milk's $10 a gallon.
And there is one man out there who fully understands this problem, and he has been telling us this for 20 years.
He even has solutions, and that's what, Ron Paul, he has solutions for it. He wants to go back to the gold and silver standard, and everybody's like, oh, you're kooky, you got...
Remember that the colonists, Roger Sherman from Connecticut, who was a mere justice of the peace, who had lived his life with real money of substance under Britain, understood this thing extremely well. And he's the one who penned the monetary law of the United States, defining a dollar as a certain assay of gold and silver currency, metal.
And along those lines, I got a few minutes left. I found this article. It's called Stagflation and Hyperinflation, or Just the End of Way of Life. And I'm not going to read everything, but he basically says that, they're going to tell you on the news, oh, nobody could have predicted this. That's complete bull. People have been talking about it for a long time, but he quotes Vladimir Lenin, and he says, fascism is capitalism in decay. So that is what I'm reading, is if the Fed gets more power, if they get more power, I can't imagine we're anything other than fascism. We may have this nice constitution that we're supposed to look at and pretend that that's what we stand for, constitutional republic, democracy, whatever you want to call it. But in reality, we're going to be a communist, fascist state because they are going to control our entire money supply. Free markets are gone.
Cutting to the chase, any corporation in this country exists by permission of the American people. And anytime any corporation in this country is considered unworthy of practicing business in this country, it can be disenfranchised because it was given permission. The permission can be removed. This is exactly the point. That's a very revolutionary statement. What Dr. Paul has proposed is a parallel currency system, which has been established in country after country, struggling with the very thing which we are struggling with, where the free market, where you and I, Joe Public, has the opportunity to go out and develop their own business and their personal affairs, either with commercial paper, i.e. Federal Reserve notes, or with money of substance, i.e. the dollar, real money, gold and silver-based currency.
We're going to run out of time, Jim. I want to say one more quote, and then I want to offer what we can tell people to do if it does get crazy, like some of the things that you guys would recommend, rights and stuff. I want to say it is fundamentally different this time than the 20s depression, because people are saying, because it will be the end of the world's first experiment in government by the people, and it will be replaced with something new. So if you like what it means to be an American, I think you need to start paying attention. If you're fine with fascism, communism, I guess just join the ride and sit back and it'll be on its way and you're good to go. I'm serious. And this is from a former Democrat, so I don't want to hear the political spectrum, those are just Republicans. I supported Democrats all my life. I love helping the poor, but we're never going to help the poor with these programs.
No.
So we need to start realizing that they're selling you, all of them, Obama, Hillary, McCain, they're selling you a fairy tale that's not going to come true because we have no money and they're just creating it out of thin air.
And they know this.
And they know this. They're going to wipe out the middle class, and then we're going to be in Cuba with our little huts and our food.
Ron Paul is the only one who cares. And you know, Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki are, okay, well,
I want to give us all
this coming.